Aquarius Horoscope, June 3rd, 2026. The emotional distance you created is no longer protecting you, Aquarius. You've been pretending emotional detachment means emotional peace, but today the universe is exposing the truth underneath your silence. Someone around you feels your energy changing, someone senses you pulling away emotionally, and someone secretly wonders whether they ever truly knew the real you at all. The strange part? Even Aquarius is beginning to question that now, because June 3rd activates an intense emotional awakening for Aquarius. A realization is approaching, one connected to emotional isolation, trust, identity, love, and vulnerability. You may suddenly feel emotionally disconnected today, not only from people, but from the version of yourself you've been trying to maintain. And honestly, that realization feels heavier than you expected. There's also major soulmate and communication energy surrounding Aquarius today. Someone misses your energy deeply, someone regrets emotionally misunderstanding your distance, and someone who once believed Aquarius didn't care is beginning to realize how deeply you actually feel underneath the surface. But that's not even the biggest message here, because today the universe is asking Aquarius one difficult question. How much longer are you going to intellectualize emotions instead of fully feeling them? Stay until the end of this reading, because the final spiritual message reveals the emotional cycle Aquarius is finally breaking after years of emotional detachment, silent loneliness, and hidden emotional exhaustion. Today's energy reading Aquarius. Today's energy feels mentally overwhelming but emotionally revealing. Externally, you may still appear calm, logical, and emotionally unaffected, but internally your spirit feels emotionally restless today. You've been carrying emotional tension silently, trying to stay rational, trying to stay emotionally independent, trying to convince yourself you don't need deeper emotional connection. But June 3rd disrupts that emotional defense completely, because your soul wants honesty now. And there's something this sign doesn't fully realize yet. Aquarius has been emotionally disconnecting from themselves while trying to emotionally survive overwhelming experiences. That realization changes everything. Today activates strong psychological awareness energy. You're noticing emotional inconsistency, fake emotional effort, social masks, unspoken tension, and hidden emotional motives. And honestly, Aquarius sees through emotional performance faster than most people realize. Your intuition today feels unusually sharp. Pay attention to dreams, unexpected memories, repeated thoughts about specific people, sudden emotional exhaustion, and conversations that trigger unexpected emotional reactions. Because your spirit is exposing emotional truth now, there's also strong communication energy surrounding Aquarius today. A message may arrive unexpectedly, someone may emotionally confess something indirectly, or Aquarius may finally recognize feelings you've been avoiding internally. But the next message is even more important. Someone around you may secretly crave emotional closeness with you while simultaneously fearing your emotional unpredictability. And today that tension may become impossible to ignore. Today's personality deep dive Aquarius positive traits. Aquarius possesses one of the most unique emotional intelligences in astrology. You understand people differently. Not only emotionally, psychologically, you naturally analyze behavior, patterns, motives, and emotional dynamics deeply. And because Aquarius observes life from a broader perspective, your insight often feels emotionally ahead of your time. Another major Aquarius strength is individuality. You refuse to emotionally become someone you are not simply to gain approval. And honestly, that authenticity becomes deeply attractive. You also possess strong humanitarian energy. Aquarius genuinely wants people to feel emotionally free, accepted, and understood. Even when you struggle expressing your own emotions openly, you still try helping others emotionally. Another hidden Aquarius gift? Vision. You naturally recognize future possibilities others cannot yet see. And that mental expansiveness gives Aquarius enormous creative power. Aquarius negative traits? But Aquarius, your emotional intelligence can become emotional detachment. You process emotions intellectually instead of emotionally sometimes. Instead of fully feeling sadness, you analyze it. Instead of expressing vulnerability, you withdraw mentally. And eventually that emotional distance creates loneliness. Another hidden weakness? Avoidance of emotional intensity. Aquarius fears emotional overwhelm deeply, especially situations involving emotional dependency or emotional unpredictability. So instead, you detach before emotions become too consuming. Another shadow pattern, emotional inconsistency. Aquarius may deeply care internally while appearing emotionally distant externally. And honestly, that contradiction confuses people who love you. Emotional profile. Your deepest emotional trigger is feeling emotionally trapped or misunderstood. Aquarius needs emotional freedom and mental connection simultaneously. Another hidden wound, feeling emotionally unseen beneath the independent image. People assume Aquarius is emotionally detached, but the truth is more complicated. You feel deeply, you simply hide emotions differently. And today, that hidden emotional sensitivity may become impossible to ignore. Because someone's behavior is triggering emotional loneliness, Aquarius has been suppressing for a long time. But this changes everything. Aquarius is beginning to realize emotional independence without emotional intimacy eventually becomes emotional isolation. Today's love and relationship reading Aquarius. Your romantic energy today feels magnetic, mysterious, and emotionally conflicted. Someone is thinking about you obsessively right now, not only because of attraction, but because Aquarius energy feels impossible to emotionally predict completely, and psychologically that mystery creates obsession. Why people fall for Aquarius? People fall for Aquarius because your energy feels different, unique, intelligent, emotionally intriguing. You make people think differently, feel differently, see life differently, and conversations with Aquarius often feel emotionally unforgettable. Another reason people become emotionally attached to Aquarius, your emotional unpredictability. You give emotional closeness, then suddenly pull back when emotions feel too intense, and that emotional inconsistency creates deep psychological attachment in others. You also possess strong emotional authenticity. Aquarius rarely pretends emotionally for long, and your honesty feels refreshing in emotionally superficial environments. Relationship strengths when emotionally secure Aquarius becomes an incredibly loyal and emotionally supportive partner. You encourage individuality, growth, freedom, communication, and Aquarius genuinely wants relationships built on emotional honesty rather than emotional control. You also bring mental stimulation into relationships naturally, and honestly, Aquarius often needs intellectual intimacy before emotional vulnerability fully develops. Relationship weaknesses, but here's the shadow side. Aquarius struggles with emotional vulnerability. You may suddenly emotionally withdraw when feelings become overwhelming, not because you stopped caring, because emotional intensity feels psychologically unsafe sometimes. Another hidden issue? Aquarius sometimes expects people to intuitively understand emotions you never directly express, and when they fail, disappointment grows silently. There's also another hidden pattern. Aquarius tests emotional freedom constantly. You observe whether people respect your individuality or attempt emotional control. Because deep down, Aquarius fears losing identity inside relationships. Soulmate energy. There is unfinished emotional communication energy surrounding Aquarius today. Someone regrets emotionally misunderstanding you. Someone wishes they had looked deeper beneath your emotional distance. And honestly, they may only now realize how emotionally rare your energy truly was. But the next message changes everything. Aquarius future soulmate energy feels emotionally healthier than your past, less emotionally controlling, less emotionally confusing, less emotionally performative, more emotionally intelligent, more accepting, more spiritually aligned. And for the first time in a very long time, Aquarius may finally feel emotionally safe enough to fully stay. Hidden truths Aquarius needs to hear, what Aquarius never tells anyone, is how emotionally lonely they often feel internally. People assume independence means emotional fulfillment. But sometimes Aquarius feels emotionally disconnected, even in crowded rooms. Another hidden truth? Aquarius secretly craves deeper emotional understanding more than people realize. You want someone to truly understand your mind, your emotions, your contradictions, your silence. And honestly, very few people ever fully reach that depth with Aquarius. Another truth Aquarius avoids admitting: you are tired of pretending emotions do not affect you deeply. You act emotionally calm, logical, detached, but internally, certain words stay with you for years. Another hidden pattern? Aquarius emotionally withdraws before emotional rejection can fully happen. Because emotional disappointment feels more painful than people realize, and today that emotional defense pattern becomes impossible to ignore. But the next message is even more important. The emotional distance Aquarius created for protection is now blocking the exact emotional connection your soul actually wants. That realization changes everything. Today's dark psychology analysis, Aquarius possesses extremely strong psychological influence. People become emotionally fascinated by your energy naturally. Because Aquarius feels emotionally difficult to fully understand, and psychologically humans become obsessed with mystery, manipulation patterns. When emotionally hurt, Aquarius may become emotionally unavailable instead of emotionally expressive. You disappear mentally, detach emotionally, avoid difficult emotional conversation, and people often feel emotionally confused afterward. Another Aquarius shadow pattern is intellectualizing emotions. You explain emotions logically instead of emotionally processing them fully because vulnerability feels emotionally risky for Aquarius. Jealousy patterns, Aquarius becomes jealous mentally before emotionally. You analyze behavioral changes quietly. Who changed emotionally? Who feels distant? Who suddenly gives different energy? And although Aquarius may appear emotionally calm externally, internally, your mind notices everything. Revenge tendencies, Aquarius revenge is emotional detachment. You emotionally move forward mentally. And eventually people realize your emotional value after losing access to your energy completely. Emotional defense systems, your strongest emotional defense is emotional distance. Aquarius convinces themselves, I don't need emotional closeness, even while secretly craving deep emotional understanding. But today's energy asks something important. Are you emotionally free or emotionally disconnected? Because those are not always the same thing. Today's money and success forecast Aquarius. Your success energy today feels innovative and expansive. This is breakthrough energy, creative expansion, unexpected opportunity, future building energy, and honestly, Aquarius is entering a period where your ideas matter more than ever. Wealth energy, Aquarius possesses strong wealth potential through technology, innovation, communication, science, media, entrepreneurship, creative strategy, and social influence. You succeed through originality, and June 3rd activates strong intellectual opportunity energy. A conversation, creative idea, networking opportunity, or unexpected collaboration may become extremely important soon. But there's something Aquarius must understand first. Your future success requires emotional consistency too. Not only brilliant ideas, career growth, leadership energy surrounds Aquarius now. People admire your originality, your intelligence, your ability to think differently under pressure. And someone influential may already notice your potential privately. But Aquarius must stop emotionally doubting whether your ideas deserve visibility because your uniqueness is your advantage. Success forecast today favors creative projects, networking, technology, innovation, planning, research, communication, and long-term strategy. Avoid mental burnout, emotional avoidance, isolating yourself professionally, and abandoning projects too quickly. And the next message changes everything. The version of Aquarius that finally balances emotional openness with independence becomes unstoppable. Today's spiritual message, Aquarius, your soul is entering a period of emotional awakening, not emotional weakness, awakening, the kind that changes how you connect, trust, communicate, and emotionally receive love. And honestly, part of Aquarius already feels this emotional transformation beginning internally. Intuition and energy alignment. Your intuition today feels emotionally precise. If someone's energy suddenly feels emotionally draining, trust yourself. If a relationship feels emotionally disconnected, notice it. Your spirit already recognizes emotional truth before your logical mind fully explains it. And there's karmic emotional release energy surrounding Aquarius now. Old emotional cycles are ending. Cycles involving detachment, emotional avoidance, fear of vulnerability, hyper-independence, and emotional isolation. The universe is teaching Aquarius, emotional depth does not remove freedom. It deepens connection. Manifestation energy, Aquarius manifests fastest through emotional authenticity, not emotional suppression, not overthinking, not emotional distance, authenticity. And today your soul wants emotional honesty more than emotional control. Soul lesson. Today's soul lesson is this. You deserve relationships where emotional understanding feels natural, Read that carefully, because Aquarius has spent too much time emotionally adapting to people who only understood surface versions of you, and the next message changes everything. Someone entering your future may finally understand both your independence and your emotional depth simultaneously. Emotional healing section Aquarius, you are emotionally exhausted from pretending detachment equals healing. And honestly, people rarely recognize how deeply Aquarius actually feels emotionally, because you hide emotional pain behind logic beautifully. But today, your soul wants truth. Not analysis, not emotional distance, not distraction. Healing. Overthinking and anxiety, Aquarius overthinks emotionally through analysis. You replay conversations mentally, analyze behavior repeatedly, search for logical explanations behind emotional pain, and eventually mental exhaustion overwhelms your nervous system. Today's healing begins with emotional presence, not only mental understanding, heartbreak recovery. If Aquarius is healing emotionally, the universe wants you to stop romanticizing emotionally unavailable people. Emotional confusion is not emotional compatibility, and distance is not emotional maturity. Inner child patterns, many Aquarius signs learned early that emotional vulnerability felt unsafe or misunderstood. So now, you instinctively protect emotions through emotional distance. But healing requires emotional openness eventually, not permanent emotional detachment. Mental strength, Aquarius possesses extraordinary emotional resilience. You survive emotional disappointment by reinventing your identity repeatedly. But the next version of Aquarius will not only emotionally survive, they will finally emotionally connect too. And honestly, that may become the most healing transformation of your life. Today's 8 rankings for Aquarius intelligence ranking, 9/6/10. Aquarius possesses exceptional intellectual and innovative intelligence. Your ability to think differently creates enormous creative and strategic power. Loyalty ranking 8/5/10. Aquarius is deeply loyal when emotionally understood and mentally connected. However, emotional control or restriction triggers emotional withdrawal quickly. Emotional intelligence ranking 8/9/10. Aquarius understands emotional psychology extremely well. However, emotional detachment sometimes blocks vulnerability. Attraction ranking 9/4/10. Aquarius carries naturally magnetic mystery and intellectual charm. Your uniqueness and emotional unpredictability create strong attraction. Wealth potential ranking 9/1/10. Strong financial success potential through innovation, technology, creativity, and visionary thinking. Aquarius succeeds through originality. Leadership ranking 9/10. Aquarius leads through ideas, innovation, and future-focused vision. People admire your individuality and unconventional thinking. Spiritual ranking 9/2/10. Aquarius evolves spiritually through emotional awakening and authenticity. Your soul lesson involves balancing freedom with emotional connection. Overall, destiny alignment 9/3/10. Aquarius is entering a major emotional and spiritual transformation cycle. And although current emotional realizations feel uncomfortable, they are preparing you for a far more emotionally aligned future. Final message, Aquarius. The version of you that survived through emotional detachment is disappearing now. You're becoming more emotionally honest, more spiritually aligned, more emotionally aware of your own needs. And honestly, that transformation was necessary because Aquarius has spent too much time overthinking, emotionally distancing, intellectualizing feelings, and pretending emotional independence removed emotional loneliness. But the universe is changing that now. Someone entering your future soon may finally love you in a way that feels free, safe, emotionally intelligent, and deeply understanding. Not emotionally controlling love, real emotional connection. And the shocking part? For the first time in a very long time, Aquarius may finally stop running from it.